Hello. So please, in this tutorial video of ProtaStructure, I'm going to show you how you can place your columns and your beam using a simple design modeling for you, and also how to apply load on the slab in this tutorial video. So the moment you open your ProtaStructure, as I taught you in the other video, the moment you open it, if you have a project that you are working on and you've already saved it, you can open it. You see recent project here, you can open it here, or maybe you have the file somewhere in a folder. You can go to project open project, then you open the ProtaStructure file, then you work on it. But let's say now that we are starting, we go to new project, then you see a dialog box. Because I'm doing screen recording, that's why the dialog box is not showing. So if you listen to me carefully and follow what I'm doing, you can do the same thing on your computer or your PC or your laptop, something like that. So you see new projects as the dialog box title, then you see a project code. The project code will be where you type maybe the code for that project that you are doing. Let's see, um 2 bedroom, something like that, right? Let's say 2 bedroom. So you can't give you a space here, so you can use as a dash to do that space. So let's say 2 bedroom, 2 bedroom. So 2 bedroom. Then you set template, right? Search. So here we are going to choose the code that we'll be using depending on your geographical area that you are. But in Ghana here, we use the British standard or the Euro code, right? But for today, I want us to use the Euro code, which is the UK BS8110, right? So when you scroll down on the dialog box, when you scroll down, the last but one, UK BS8810. I'm using ProtaStructure 2021, so I don't know how it will be on your own. So BS8110 that we are going to use. Then leave the template on check. You see it has been already on check. Leave it on check. Then click OK. Then wait for it to open for you. Okay, let's wait for it. I think it's coming. Yeah, so it has opened. So the moment you open it, this is how it will look like. It looks like some graph with some grid in it. So this is how it will look like. So as in the other video, I taught you how you do this one. So you have your building set out, modeling this building. So now let's first generate our story. So I have our story one, story zero, story one. So this modeling that I'm going to do, I'm doing it as a 2-story building. So what I go is that you see where the building setup is. Go far right, the last one, you see story operation. Click on it and you see a drop down where you see select story, insert story, remove story, delete story, generate story, edit story. So here, because we've already have story one, story zero, story one, and we want to add another story to it, we go to insert story, then click insert story. You see a dialog box on it with a title add story. Then you see a total number of story in the box, which is 0. So it's said to add stories to the top of the building, enter a number greater than the current total. To insert an intermediate story, enter a number less than the current total, right? Yeah. So we want to add a story to it. So because we want to add one, we will delete the 0 from there. We delete the 0, or you type the number. So we want to add one story to it, right? Then you click OK. You see that the OK is like a mark something in green. You click OK, then it will add the story. So now I have my story 0, story 1, then story 2. So now is what a two-story modeling that I'm doing, a sample model that I'm doing. Now, after you are done with your story, what we are going to do is that we have to generate our grid lines, right? Our horizontal grid lines and our vertical grid lines. So what you are going to do is that you go to modeling at the top here at the ribbon tab, look for modeling, then click on modeling. Then you look for orthogonal axis generator under the grids. Orthogonal axis generator. That's what you're going to do. Then click on it. The moment you click on the orthogonal axis generator, nothing will not show, right? Nothing will not show. So what you do is that you bring your mouse at where it looks like graph, then click on it. Then you see a dialog box which shows orthogonal axis generator, grid insertion with a reference point. The reference point shows where you click on this graph or something like that. Then you see grade 1, direction 1 axis label A. The axis label A shows the direction of the grid line, the one moving in the horizontal path, like the one moving, if you can see where the mouse pointer is, the one moving in this direction, the one moving in this direction, that will give us that was the direction 1 axis, which has the label A with a step 1. When we say step 1, that means from A to B to C to D, in that order, in that sequential order. Then we have the axis spacing. So let's say you have your drawing, your architectural drawing, you've done your general arrangement to know where your columns should be. You know the measurement between two columns. So there are axis in that columns, that space between them, that you place them here. So the moment you see axis spacing or into bracket s axis spacing or spaces, 5,000 asterisk 3. The asterisk there is multiplication, right? Then we have direction 2 axis. So the direction 2 axis are the grid lines that move vertical like this, and the axis label are 1. The axis label is 1 and the step is 1. That means in that order, 1, 2, 3, in that order. Then the axis spacing 2, the spaces between the grid lines to this one has 5,000 asterisk 3, right? So let's delete it. Let's delete other direction 1 axis. Let's delete that 5,000 asterisk 1. So now I want us to choose these dimension, then we work on. So first we will choose 4,500, then comma, then we will choose 3,000, then comma, then we will choose 1,000, comma. So if the spacing between the axes are not the same, right, are unequal, what you use comma to separate the values, and it's supposed to be in millimeters, please, right? But if let's say you have, let's say, 3 axes, interval axes that has similar length, you use, let's say, if it is 2,000, let's say 2,000 asterisk 3, then you can get that without repeating 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. I'll get it so that you can work fast. Let's also type 4,500, right? And comma, let's type another 3,000. Okay, yeah. Then let's move on to the direction 2. So we are done with the direction 1 axis. That's the one that's moving the horizontal part. Let's move on to the direction 2 axis, which is the axis label 1. Then let's delete the 5,000 asterisk 3. Then type 4,000, comma, let's say 3,500, comma, then 1,500, comma, then type another 4,000, comma, right? So no, don't bring the comma for now. So the top one, we have one, the direction 1 as we have the axis spacing to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the down here we have the axis spacing to 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have the axis spacing to be 4,000, comma, 3,500, comma, 1,500, comma, and then 4,000, right? Depending on the type of maybe building that you are designing and your intervals between the grid lines, right? Yeah, if they are the same, you can choose one, then multiply by the number of maybe the spacing, yeah, to make your way easy. So after that, then click OK. then it will generate the grid lines for you like this. You see, so you can see that we have the direction 1, which is the A. So we have A, B, C, D, E, F, right? Then the direction 2, which is the one moving vertical, to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Now you've gotten grid lines. I'll get it. You've gotten grid lines. So what we are going to do now is that let's go to the building set out again. So when we go to the building set out again, then we go to story operations, where the story is, then click on it, then you see a drop down, then you go to edit story. We are going to do something there. So you go to edit story, where we are going to check our foundation depth, and let's say the columns are moving through all the story. Let's say the columns are moving through the story 1, 2, 2, story 3 without any changes in it. So let's go to edit story, then click on edit story, right? Then you see a dialog box which has the title edit story, and you see a box, right? You see a box because we are dealing with a 2-story. You see 2 rows in the box. Let's say you see 3, but the top ones are for the titles, but for the rest you see 2 rows which has info, and story. You see that story 1, story 2. That means we are dealing with 2-story, right? Then you see each, which is the height in millimeters, 3000, 3000. Then you see level, then you see label, see 1, 2, description, nothing is there. D1, D2, wall 1, don't have them. Wall 2, impulse load reduction, we don't have. Structural system, which is reinforced concrete. The structural system that we are dealing with is a reinforced concrete. Then similar story. This is what I want us to do, because we want our columns in the story 1 to be the same as those in story 2. What we are going to do is that you hold your shift, you select, let's say, the story 1 at the similar story, the row at the similar story. You select it, it will show like something like a light blue or something like that. You select it, then you hold your shift, then you drag it down to select the other story, right? Hold your shift to drag it down to select the other story in that column, in that similar story column. After you selected the one in the story 1, which shows like something like light blue, you hold your shift, and on your mouse at the left button you hold it, then you drag it down to select it. So after that, because we want all the columns in that to be the same, the moment you place a column in the story 1, it will appear in the story 2. So what you are going to do is that on that dialog, edit story dialog box, you see impose load reduction. Don't go to that place. Look for similar story, and at where the similar story, you see define selected stories as similar, right? Define selected stories as similar. Define selected stories as similar. So what you do is that click on that define selected stories as similar. So the moment you click on that, you see that the similar stories column, you see that the row for the story 1 will change to 2 in that column, and the row for story 2 will change to 1 in that similar stories to change. So you get to 1. I'll get it. That means if you place a column in story 1, it will appear directly in story 2 without you modeling again in story 2. Then on that same dialog box, you see effective top story number. We are not going there. First story bottom level. Then we have our foundation depth. So let's say the foundation depth of this one, let's choose 1000, because we are not doing any thing, any which you are just modeling how, just showing how you can place your columns and do that. So foundation depth, let's choose 1000. Then 14 label F, let's leave it like this. Then click OK. The moment you click OK, it will give you a warning, and on the warning dialog it says this and the previous processes will not be undone after this step. Do you want to continue? Yes. Then click yes. I'll get it. So now any column that you place here in this story 1 plan, it will be here at the story 2. Now let's go to how we can model our columns. So first we are starting with the columns. So you go to modeling, then you will see the column here. The moment you place it on it, it will give you some long instruction. You will see reinforced concrete column. You click on the column, then at this side, at your far right here, it will give you a dialog box. For my own, is not showing. It will give you a dialog box with a title column, and you see general, you see label. The label, you see in that label, you see 1C1. That means one column in story 1, right? Let's say 1C1, that's story 1 column 1. Let me say it like that. So 1C1, story 1 column 1. I get it. Yeah, that's the column label. Then you see B1, B2. So the B1, B2 are the dimensions, right? Are the dimensions, the sizing of the column that you'll be using. That's the B1, B2. And at where the B1, B2 is, you see a box, like a rectangular box there. At where the B1, B2 is, you see a rectangular box. When you place your mouse on it, you see session manager. Session manager, click on that one. So when you click on that session manager, it will give you a dialog box that shows a column concrete, and the one that we already have is 5,000 by 250. So the 5,000 is the rate, right? The 5,000 is the rate, and the h, and the 250 is the depth. So 5,000 as the rate, and the depth of that column is 250. So when you take a section of it, when you take a cross section of the column, the width of the column is 5,000 and the depth of it is 250, right? Now we don't want to use this, so let's choose, let's say the width to be 3,000 and the depth to be also the width to be 300 and the depth to be also 300. Sorry. So let's click here. So you click at where the B is, where the 500 mm is. Click on it to select that 500 mm, then you type 300, enter. Then you see that you see a material color and those that you see that the moment you type 300, it will change. You see some box which has VH, it will change for you. Then you have your H, the H to you type 300, enter. Then you see that the box has started out changing, right? Then you click OK, right? Then you click OK. Let's go to you have drop. Okay, you can see you have 3D at that side. You're not going to do anything there. So at the general, you're focusing at the general, right? Yeah. So then go to update, click on the update, then you bring it here. So when you are bringing it, you can see that it has this intersection. So after you are done with that dimension, you bring your mouse to this side, then you zoom in to see. You can see that we have the column there. Then you place it. Let's say we're going to have one column here, then you place it. The moment you place it, it will go back to that 500 by 250. Then escape, then you select that 500 by 250. I don't know why. Then you right click then you look for properties. So let's say when you want to do any correction in this, you place your mouse on it like this. You place your mouse on it, then you select it, then right click. You see some dialog box or some drop down, then you look for properties, click on the properties, then you see the column properties again, the column properties dialog box again, then the view one, we change it to 300 by 300. If you like to, there's no need that you should have to go to the session manager, you can change them here, then click update, right? Then it will update it for you. Then you can start placing your columns without any problem. So let's say you are placing another one here. You are placing another one here. So this is how you are going to place your column. Let's place one here. Place one here. Place one here. So the columns that I'm placing it here, you see that any column that I'll place, it will show at the side story 1 columns. So you see we have 1C1, 1C2, 1C3. I'll get it. So they have their labels. So place one here, place one here, place one here, depending on you where you want to place your columns. Let's say you want to have one here, another one here, another one here, another one here, then another one to this side. Okay, depending on how you want to place your columns, right? So the moment you place it, it will give you the column label. Another one to this side, another one to this side, right? After that, then click escape. You can view it in the 3D model too. So at where the story 1 is, right click on that place. Then you will see some drop down which has reset windows, tilt horizontal, tilt vertical, smart plan, 3D vertical model, 3D rebel model. This one we haven't done any analysis, so you can see analytical model too, we haven't done any analysis. So click on the 3D physical model, click on that one, then it will open for you. You can see it. Yeah. So you can see that at the 3D model we are there. This one is the story 1, right? So when we click on the story 2, it will move at the top here. It will move at the top here. I'll get it. It will move at the top here for you. I'll get it. So now you've gotten it. Because we choose similar story, that's why we can see that all our columns have moved from this side to this side, from the story 1 to the story 2 here. I'll get it. Yeah, nicely. This is how you place your columns, right? So this is how you place your columns. Let's move on to the beams, right? Let's move on to the beams, right? So for the beams too, you go to the modeling, then you look for beam at this side, RC beam, right? It will give you some long instructions, right? So give you some long instructions. Then click on that beam. Then at your far right here, you see the same dialog box as you saw for the column beam for the general. Then you see, for this one, you can see that we have B into bracket MMB, which is 250. Then at below it, you see H, right, which is 500. Let's change them to let's say 300. Let's see the width of that beam to be 300, and let's see the depth of that beam to be, let's say, 300, right? Then you will see a label which has 1B1. That means story 1 beam 1. After that, then you click update, right? So this is how we are going to place our columns. So you bring your mouse here, right? It should be somewhere column is, right, something like that. Maybe if it is a cantilever, it's different. But because we want to connect it to columns, so let's say we want to start it from here, then you click on it, then you draw it like this. You can decide to draw it continuous, or can decide to draw it one after the other, but let's try the continuous and see. Then it will start to process for you nicely. How you see this? Yeah. Then you can draw this one to this side. Okay, let's move it to this side. You can click escape to also. Okay, maybe you want to move to a different place. Okay, escape. Click on escape on your keyboard. Yeah, then bring it here. Can drag it to this side. Okay, escape. Let's see, you want something like this. Escape, maybe you want something like this. So this is how you place your column. The moment you place it, it will give you the column. You see at this side, you can see that you have story 1 beam 18, which is 100 by 300. So that's how the ProtaStructure will give it to you. Let's place another one here. Okay, let's place another one. So we can make this side to continuous like this. We can make this side to continuous like this. I make this side to continuous. Okay, let's make this side to continue. So depending on your building plan and how you want your columns arrangement and your beams arrangement will be, maybe it will be different from this side. This one is not anything. I wanted to show you how you place it, your columns and your beam. If you have your drawings with you, maybe architectural drawing that you've done your general arrangement, let's place one here, then you can do that as simple as ABC. Okay, let's place one. Okay, let's place another one. Let me change the side. Okay, okay, okay. So now you see this beam that we've placed, because we selected similar stories. The moment you open the 3D, you see this beam at the story 1 appearing at the story 2 too. Right, and the moment we place it, you can see at the beams for the story 1, you can see that it has given us the beams at this side, right? So the moment you click on any of them here, you see that it will select on the modeling page for you. So I click on B1. I click on let me click on 1B1 and see where it will select. See, I'll get it. Yeah, so that's how it is. Let's go to 3D and see how it looks like. So you can see how nicely it looks like. How you see it? You can see how nicely it looks like for you. So this is how you modeling your columns and your beams. So this is how you modeling your columns and your beams, right? Yeah, so we can go to building check to check if there is any error in this one. So what you do is that let's go to at analysis. Let's look for analysis on our dialog on our ribbon tab, analysis. Then you look for building analysis. No, let's go to review. Sorry, review. Don't go to analysis, go to review. Then look for building model check, right? Then click on the building model check. So for the building model check, you see a dialog box which has building model check with a lot of them checked, right? Don't uncheck any of them, right? Then you click on start. The moment you click on building model check, you see building model check as a dialog box, something like that. Don't uncheck any of them. Move straight, then click on start. Then it will start to check your building for you if there is any error. Maybe there has been some overlap of some beams, or some didn't connect well. Then do that building check for you. Okay, so I'm done with my own. It said building model check completed, number of errors 0. I'll get it. After that, then you click okay. So this is how you are going to place your columns and your beam in ProtaStructure and do your dimensions in ProtaStructure. So in our next video, I'll show you how you place your slabs and apply loads on the slab. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and also share to other people to also get something from our tutorial videos. Thank you.